Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going big with 12 insane survival hacks that might just save your life. We're talking real deal MacGyver level stuff that you can use if you're ever lost in the woods, stranded on a desert island, or, just need to impress your friends at a campfire. We've got everything from starting a fire with a battery and gum wrapper, how cool is that, to building a water filter with a plastic bottle. Seriously, this is some next level survival stuff, so buckle up, smash that like button, and let's get right into it. Alright, first up is a survival hack that's so simple, you won't believe you didn't think of it sooner. We're talking about turning a humble crayon into a freaking candle. That's right, those waxy sticks of art supplies aren't just for coloring inside the lines, they can also provide some much-needed light in a pinch. Just stick the crayon upright in your makeshift holder, light the tip like you would a regular candle, and boom! You've got yourself a flame that can burn for up to 30 minutes. Think about it, 30 minutes of light could be the difference between finding your way back to camp and spending a terrifying night lost in the dark. So next time you're packing for a camping trip, toss a few extra crayons in your bag. You never know when they might come in handy. Getting lost is no joke, people. Luckily, this next hack is here to make sure you always find your way. We're talking about creating a compass using nothing but a needle, a bit of water, and the power of science. Here's the deal, you need to magnetize the needle. The easiest way to do this is to rub it against a piece of silk or wool fabric, or even your own hair, for a few minutes. Next, carefully place the magnetized needle onto a small, lightweight object that floats, like a leaf or a piece of cork. Gently set this floating contraption in a container of still water. The needle will slowly rotate, aligning itself with the Earth's magnetic field. The pointy end of the needle will point towards magnetic north, giving you a general sense of direction. Let's be real, duct tape is basically the superhero of the adhesive world. It can fix anything, right? Well, it turns out duct tape can also be a lifesaver, literally. In a pinch, this versatile tool can be used to close wounds and prevent infection. First things first, clean the wound as best as you can with whatever water you have available. Then cut a piece of duct tape slightly larger than the wound and apply it firmly over the area, making sure to create a tight seal. It's not pretty, but it could help prevent infection and buy you some time until you can get proper medical attention. Getting lost is one thing, but being unable to signal for help is a whole other level of survival nightmare. But don't worry, nature's got your back. With just an acorn cap and a little bit of know-how, you can create a surprisingly loud whistle that can be heard for miles. Here's the trick. Find a large, intact acorn cap. Carefully break off a small piece of the acorn cap's rim, creating a small notch. Hold the acorn cap firmly in your hand, with the notch facing outwards. Place your lips against the edge of the acorn cap, just below the notch, and blow across the opening. With a little practice, you'll be able to produce a sharp, piercing whistle that will echo through the wilderness. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. The good news is, you can create a simple but effective water filter using nothing but a plastic bottle, some basic materials, and a little bit of ingenuity. Here's what you'll need. A cut-up plastic bottle, a piece of cloth, charcoal, from a fire you hopefully started with that crayon, playground sand, gravel, and of course, water. Start by layering the materials inside the bottle, starting with the cloth, then charcoal, followed by the play sand, pebbles, and finally gravel. Slowly pour the questionable water through the top of your DIY filter. The layers will work their magic, and clean, drinkable water will drip out the bottom. Fire. It's essential for warmth, cooking, signaling, and let's be honest, it just makes everything cooler. But starting a fire in a survival situation can be a real pain, especially if you don't have a lighter or matches. That's where this next hack comes in. Starting a fire with a battery and a gum wrapper. You'll need a battery, the higher the voltage the better, a gum wrapper with foil on one side, and some tinder. Carefully cut the foil from the gum wrapper into a thin strip, making sure it's wide in the middle and narrow at the ends. Next, touch the positive and negative terminals of the battery with the foil strip, creating a short circuit. The foil will heat up rapidly, and if you've positioned your tinder just right, it'll ignite into a flame. Just remember to handle the battery and foil with care, as they can get extremely hot. Remember that whole water everywhere problem we talked about? Well, even if you manage to find a source of water in the wild, there's a good chance it's contaminated. That's where the power of the sun comes in to save the day, with a little help from a solar still. Building a solar still is easier than you might think. You'll need a large container. A plastic sheet or tarp works great. A smaller container to collect the clean water, a weight like a rock, and of course, sunlight. Dig a hole in the ground that's slightly larger than your smaller container. Place the container in the center of the hole. Then, cover the hole with the plastic sheet, securing the edges with dirt or rocks. Place the weight in the center of the plastic sheet, directly above the smaller container. The water droplets will then run down the sloped plastic and drip into the smaller container, providing you with clean, drinkable water. Alright, this next hack is serious business. We're talking about using a belt as a tourniquet to stop severe bleeding in an emergency situation. If you're ever in a situation where someone is experiencing heavy bleeding from a limb and direct pressure isn't working, a tourniquet might be necessary. Find a sturdy belt, or even a long piece of cloth, and wrap it tightly around the limb, a few inches above the wound. Tie the belt or cloth securely, then find a stick or another rigid object to use as a windlass. Place the windlass on top of the knot and tie it in place. Twist the windlass to tighten the tourniquet until the bleeding stops. Once the tourniquet is applied, note the time and inform medical professionals as soon as possible. When hunger strikes in the wild, you've got to get creative. And what's more creative than turning a humble soda can tab into a life-saving fishing hook? That's right, with a little bit of elbow grease and a whole lot of ingenuity, you can transform trash into treasure, or at least dinner. Find a discarded soda can tab, hopefully you finished your drink first, and carefully remove the tab from the can. Now, using a rock or another hard object, carefully smooth down any sharp edges on the tab. You don't want to cut yourself on your new fishing hook. Attach your makeshift hook to a fishing line or even a strong piece of thread, bait it up with a worm or insect and cast your line. Lost in the woods and forgot your compass? No worries, as long as you have an analog watch, you know, the kind with actual hands, you can use it to determine direction. Here's how it works. Hold your watch horizontally with the hour hand pointing towards the sun. Now imagine a line running from the center of the watch face through the 12 o'clock mark. South will be halfway between the hour hand and the 12 o'clock mark. For example, if it's 4 p.m. and the hour hand is pointing towards the sun, south would be located halfway between the 4 and the 12 on your watch face. Once you know where south is, you can easily figure out the other cardinal directions. Finding shelter is crucial in a survival situation. But what if you find yourself stranded without a tent or tarp? That's where a humble trash bag can become your new best friend. Yes, you heard that right. A trash bag. Those large, heavy-duty trash bags are surprisingly versatile and can be used to create a makeshift shelter in a pinch. Find a dry spot and gather some branches or sticks to use as support structures for your shelter. Next, drape the trash bag over the branches, creating a tent-like structure. Secure the edges of the trash bag with rocks or dirt to prevent it from blowing away. It might not be the Ritz, but a trash bag shelter can provide much-needed protection from rain, wind, and even cold temperatures. Signaling for help is essential in a survival situation. But what if you don't have a whistle, a flare gun, or a smoke signal? Fear not, because a simple mirror can be your saving grace. The reflective surface of a mirror can be used to signal for help over long distances by reflecting sunlight. Hold the mirror close to your face and angle it so that it reflects sunlight onto your hand. Now slowly adjust the angle of the mirror until you see a bright spot of light projected onto your hand. Once you've found the reflection, aim it at a distant object, like a tree or a rock. Move the mirror slowly back and forth, creating a flashing effect that will attract attention. With a little luck, your mirror signal will be seen by a passing plane or search party. Thanks for watching. If you found these survival hacks helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content. And hey, if you've got any crazy survival tips of your own, drop them in the comments below. We might just feature them in a future video. Always be prepared when venturing into the great outdoors, and let someone know your plans before you go. Stay safe out there, and never underestimate the power of resourcefulness.